everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome back to another episode of Coolcraft Season 2. No, besides this slightly goofy start to the video, we are back for another episode, and I must say, the season is actually probably going to come to a close pretty soon, in about a month, I'd say, because we have plans to essentially start the next season right at a little while after JD Cool ships off to college. So that's in about a month from now. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, anyhow, today we are going to be doing some work here on the base. Again, in the last episode, we built these 4 thrusters that are existing around the edges of the base. Also found out that that iron golem spawning glitches in 1.16 are pretty insane, because this area is fairly packed with iron golems, which is kind of weird. But hopefully 1.16.2 comes out at some point to fix that. But yeah, something I realized I forgot to do in the last episode was update the map here in the I think I called this the city planning office, although it didn't really matter. Last season, stuff like this mattered a whole lot more because people played on the server last season. I really want to get more people on here. So yes, a little bit of a plug here. We are almost completely desperate from crap, this was the wrong area. Okay. We are almost completely desperate for members, so please fill out the join Coolcraft form in the description. It's, I don't know, it might be worth your time if we decide to put you on, but the more people that decide to sign up, the more, I mean, if you don't sign up, there is no chance that you'll have it, and it's not like an employment form which could take an hour or so to fill out. It's, pretty quick. So anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'd say it is kind of obvious that I screwed up the location of these things by 1 block on this side. On this side, there is no paths inside there, so it's almost hard to tell unless you're looking hard at the pixels. Say, hang on, that's a little bit too far over. But here you can just see that the paths don't align, and annoying. Whatever. That was a mistake, and I'm not fixing it because that would be way too hard. Now, today in this episode, we are going to kind of be continuing with a little bit of why I built those thrusters in the last episode. Now, in the last episode, I didn't have too much time to continue it, which is why it was kind of short, although it wasn't actually that short, but whatever. We're going to be skipping the Trident farm for now. I might get to that next episode, although I do have a Trident now, so I might just cancel that. I do need to get channeling on this, because I don't think I have any channeling enchanted books over here. And if you're wondering what this is my stash of enchanted books from the beginning of the season when I was doing a little bit of AFK fishing, which I stopped doing pretty quickly. Won't be able to do that next season, though, because, yeah, they removed it in 1.16, so yeah, don't think that we do have channeling. No. Alright. Anyhow, so yeah, we're going to be skipping the Trident farm here and going on to the base lore, and I will explain this momentarily. Alright guys, so it's been like a week since the last clip. Well, reasons why is not important, but I guess JD Cool has been doing a lot of live streaming recently, so yeah, I haven't needed to do as much video production. And I've just kind of been uninspired, and Coolcraft is maybe 1 or 2 weeks away from going into Season 3. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Interesting if I can get anybody on, but fun. Anyhow, so what I've gone done is I put in this little control panel here with a few different levers with redstone lines going out to place on the base, and what this does here is this is to control whether the thrusters on the outside of the base are currently turned on. So what these control panels do is well, I replaced the jack-o'-lanterns that were in the thrusters with redstone lamps so that they can be turned on and off at will, so that the inhabitants of this dome, while they're traveling through space or around the world, can decide when to turn the thrusters on or off, or if this thruster over here, say, malfunctions, they can quickly shut off this thruster over here to make sure this thing stays balanced and doesn't start flipping over and over and over like you would think it would. Now, what was I talking about? Right, so the thrusters. It did take a lot of redstone for me to just simply hook these levers here up to each one thruster, as you can see, and it just so happened that I was able to stagger them like that so that these two here go to opposite corners of the whole ship, base, whatever it is. But yeah, these lines took a lot of redstone to build. And a lot of repeaters. Not nearly as much repeaters as just solid redstone though, so yeah. Definitely gonna try to make a witch farm quickly next season. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm just showing you these lines here, and they're a bit longer in the other direction because of they have to go through a bigger dome. This set of stuff isn't exactly placed correctly. I lost pretty much just speed 2 right there, and I think maybe strength. Anyhow. Yeah, so right here, that's all for one of these, and that essentially times 4 is what I was just doing. But now, let's get talking about why this is kind of important. Alright, so this is important because what I'm about to dump on you is essentially the whole, reason why this all theoretically exists. It's not that I just built this, it's some kind of crazy story that I wish I had the talent to actually animate, a cinematic scene of maybe it was in Minecraft, but whatever. I probably don't have the patience or the time to figure out how I would do something like that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna tell you this. So this is essentially the lore of my base, and as to why it exists, besides all these beacons which are just here for my enjoyment. Obviously. Anyhow, this story begins a long time ago. Far, far away in the universe. Millions and millions of... Okay, you get it. You get the idea. It was a long time ago and very far away. I swear this is not turning into Star Wars. Anyhow. So, some sort of thing, some energy, but we don't know what it is because nobody's ever able to get a glimpse of it, started making its rounds through the universe, destroying anything, and I mean anything, that it came in contact with. A very advanced civilization for the time, on a planet not too far away from where this thing was headed, saw this through their very advanced telescopes and such, and it started freaking the heck out as they realized they were next. Why wouldn't you if you realized that? So they quickly made a very expensive plan. They decided that they would survive at all cost. So they built a gigantic glass dome. Let's see where this is going now. And attached some other glass dome via hallway to it, and blasted that off into space right as said thing was, coming around towards their planet. They packed a lot of people in here, and they survived. Now they were going through space in this self-sustaining environment for years, but it was all just this. They eventually came across a small, mostly blue planet, which seemed, based on their calculations, to be very, very far away from where the current thing is. So they decide to settle down here. They came down to the surface of the planet, and as they saw it, they saw for miles, but only saw water, or blue water as we know it. And so they assumed that this whole planet must be made of water. And they stayed here for a long, long time. But the nothing, as the thing has now become to be known, still slowly advanced through the universe and is slowly approaching this planet. However, it's taken so long to get here, and so it's been so long since the home world that people have essentially forgotten about it, and it's just become normal and generations for them to live in this society thinking nothing's out there, just being here. So there's a lot of inbreeding going on, you can imagine. But it's not a big deal because there's a ton of people living here from the apartment buildings, which I'm totally going to build soon. Fingers crossed. However, the original people sought to preserve their way of life, so they built a giant freaking museum. See, you kind of get where this is. While this here was actually while this side was actually me just things that happened throughout the season, this side is their origins. They didn't have too much space and couldn't come up with too much good stuff, so they showed basic stuff, caves and such. They also hid away all their riches, which for some reason, if you're going off into space, you must take all your riches with you. And, of course, the giant skeleton was something that used to exist on their planet. However, as I said, the nothingness is approaching, and the people don't know what to do. They've been sat here for years. Somehow these ultra-efficient thrusters have kept going for years. But that world happens to be called Coolcraft Season 2. And yes, it's ending soon, which is kind of the whole idea that nothingness will catch up to this right about at the end. But hey, you'll be able to play on this shortly afterwards, so, you know, that's fine. So yeah, that's essentially the lore of the base. I could have done something much fancier for this, and I was thinking of maybe doing something like that at the beginning of the season, but did I have time for that? Heck no. So, you know, you get me just walking around my base and telling you about this instead. So now I'm off to make this place look like it's actually been here for a while. That would involve me flying around outside and placing a whole bunch of vines on this and seeing how far they grow. And if they grow far enough, maybe I'll just cap them off with string. This might take a while. It might be a bad idea. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright everyone, you can see that the vines are in and they are growing. I've done a bit of AFKing around here and you can see the vines are growing quite well. Yes, indeed they are. Now, this was actually something that I spontaneously did, and I was like, you know what? That is something I wanted to do for, like, this whole season, and because this is the end of the season, I think we're going to have at least 1 or 2 more episodes after this. Perfect time. They won't get too crazy long by the time the world download goes out. Or fingers crossed, at least they won't. So yeah, now to what I was actually going to do at this part of the episode. Right, so the other thing that I wanted to do kind of pertains to all the villagers and stuff here. Or, not necessarily just the villagers, but this entire dome. Because all these farms are actually currently turned off, but if in case it would be necessary, which it will never be, I want to be able to turn these on and off from inside the main part of the base without having to go over there and figure out where the different hopper circuits and stuff are. I mean, the pumpkin and melon farms, they have their hopper circuits underground here, and everything else is above ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand on this control panel here to add stuff to turn on and off these. And I believe there are 7 different farms. That includes a sugarcane farm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna get doing this. And now, just for a moment there, some of you are probably thinking how I'm going to be able to send 7 different redstone signals in a space that's only about 7 blocks wide. Well, this is how. By simply using the fact that an analog signal can only travel 15 blocks, I put the repeaters at exactly every 15 blocks, so that, as an example is shown here, if I just put one signal on this, which I think this would be the wheat farm, it only activates this repeater out of all the other repeaters. So now I can actually show you what these things are. So these 2 repeaters on the ends here, these are for the pumpkin and melon farms. I don't remember which one's on which side, so there's that. The center one here, this is for the sugarcane farms, and these two groups here are for the different crop farms in the center. So as you can see, I thought this out. Now I just gotta connect these up to said farms. I mean, these edge ones here are easy because those are the clocks right there. Everything else is a little bit more difficult because I gotta figure out where I'm poking up for that. So yeah, I also gotta hook it up to a thing over here, but that's gonna be later. Anyway, yeah, let's get going on this. Alright, all the redstone that connects these things to the farms is in, and it looks interesting. But this is, again, only half of it. It's only the stuff that happens in this dome. Over here, we also have to connect it up to the selector panel thingy here. I happen to have 8 levers on me. Don't know where these came from, but... oh, right, from the farms themselves, right. Well, that's handy. Only have... oh, I have exactly 7 repeaters. That's also quite handy. So, yeah. Now I gotta bend all these redstone lines to go right there. Alright, so all the redstone connecting this up to the control panel is now in. My, does this look messy, but I did it. I've connected all the redstone up here, so now if I want to turn on any one of these levers or any multiple of these levers, I don't know what I just turned on there. Apparently I turned on all the ones that go up. That's kind of funny. But yeah, as you can see here, I did indeed turn on those 3. And I don't know, that would be sugarcane, carrots, and wheat, I think that would be. I don't know, I gotta go label these now, which is the main problem, is I don't know what each one does. Well, besides, I know that I know the center one does sugarcane, so I should go find some signs and do that. So yeah, let me go label this, and I'll be right back. Alright, labeling is done, and I've also added some lamp indicators for some reason above it, in case you couldn't tell that this means on, and that means off, because, you know, logic. But yeah, now if I need something, say, I don't know, sugarcane, which I've been slowly eating away at for the past few months when I needed fireworks. Well, I've actually used a lot of it. I could go over here, find sugarcane, simply turn this on, and then if I go outside and go over to the sugarcane location here, whoop, I can see that over at the sugarcane farms, the clocks here are free to move, and I actually don't want to turn the farms on for now, so I'm actually going to go turn that back off. But yeah, that's essentially what the system is used for, and I might go and decorate this room later, because, yeah, it's something I could do. I mean, I had this giant open space here. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use this for tons and tons of, like, farm storage and stuff. And then, cut to the end of the season, yeah, I built this small storage system thing here, and I never use it, and yeah, pretty much that. Also, we have this here. I'm probably never actually gonna go fix the wheat farm and beet farm, really, because I don't need to, and I can't be bothered. But anyhow, now that that's done, there is actually something else that I want to do. So I have some netherite scrap here that I've gone and done a bit of an expedition for. That's because I do need to do a little bit more of netherite stuff. Yeah, that's a good description of what I'm gonna do. Netherite stuff. Where's the crafting recipe for the netherite ingot? Oh right, I need a ton more gold. I forgot about that. Yeah, look at that. I have a ton of gold. Because actually, something I did recently was I went over to the Wither Skeleton farm, which we made a few months back. I will make that really early. I will make one much earlier. I'll just put this in here, because why not? I'll make one really early next season. But yeah, I went over to the Wither Skeleton farm that I made, and I was like, oh, we have like a ton of gold nuggets stored up here. So I brought that over to the gold farm to have it all crafted down into gold ingots. And I got like 8 stacks of gold blocks, which is interesting. Anyhow, so yeah, I have 2 netherite ingots here. Now, what am I going to be using this for? Now, well, actually, I didn't mean to put that away yet. One of these I'm just going to keep around here because I don't have a use for yet. And yeah, look at my riches. I have a stack of diamond ore that I just don't care about. That's amazing. But for the others, I'm going to be making a netherite hoe. 1, because that gives me an achievement, and that's always cool. But 2... Yep, they changed that advancement. But the other reason why I'm doing this is because there's a surprising amount of things that actually use the hoe as their default tool right now, which is kind of interesting. Like wart leaf, like the wart blocks now use this hoe, hay bales, sponges for some reason, and I don't actually understand why sponges, but sponges. That's fun. Let's find some lapis so I can go enchant this, because I think you can actually use an enchantment table to enchant these things now. That they are an actual tool that can actually mine crap. And let's get rid of all the carpets here because the enchantment table doesn't like carpets for some reason. Silk touch, sure thing. So yeah, that's actually pretty much, besides mending, that's pretty much everything that I need on a netherite hoe. And yeah, this is like the most valuable hoe ever now. But yeah, I'm gonna go grab a mending book, slap that on here, and then I'll be good to go do something else. I'm not too sure what though. Alright, so the next thing that I've decided to do is get a ton of emeralds for some reason. So I brought a whole bunch of shulker boxes of stuff over here to my very small and terrible trading hall here. And yeah, I'm going to try to get as much money as freaking possible out of these guys. So yeah, time to do that. Alright, after a lot of trading in the shulker boxes and stuff, we got all these emeralds from that. Now, I still don't know exactly why I'm doing this, but I felt like I wanted a whole bunch of emeralds, so you know, here I go, I guess. Got none in there. Yeah, that's actually a lot. A lot of emeralds. So yeah, that's that. Let's let's see. Don't know too much of what else I would want to actually go do in this episode. I will figure out something, probably. I don't know, maybe. Alright guys, so I was thinking about what I was gonna do next in this episode when I was like, should probably plug this thing. So, if you're unaware, because you haven't been watching the videos that I've put out on this channel recently, I have made a video game. What are you looking at? Yeah, hey, this guy? Yeah, I know there's an issue here. But anyhow, yeah, so I have made a video game, which is not available on any major platform, because heck no, I'm not that talented to get money or anything from this. Probably not even allowed to get money from this sort of thing. But anyhow, if you wanted to play it, because there's been a couple updates since I did a video on it, the video's like a few videos back on the channel at this time, just go to cbi-games.glitch.me. That's cbi-games.glitch.me. Just like that. And then you'll be able to get it from that website, which I made myself. Yay, be proud of me. Anyhow, yeah, I realized that as I was editing this episode so far that we are about 20 minutes in. So yeah, that's a pretty good length for an episode that we did little in. So yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's great. Today we kind of talked about what I've been thinking about this whole season when I built the dome. So yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the Discord linked in the description. Check out the forum if you want to maybe join Coolcraft Season 3 and 9. We'll see you all in the next episode of Coolcraft Season 2. Bye!